Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope everyone is doing good. So welcome to another video of plant growth and nutrition. In this video, we will be talking about development in general, and we will be understanding what is plasticity with respect to plants. And we will be introducing ourselves to plant hormones, and there are five hormones that we need to do. Out of that, we will be covering the first hormone, its function and uses, that is auxin, in this video. Okay. In the previous video, we have discussed the growth pattern of plants. Okay, that is different type of growth that can happen, arithmetic growth or geometric growth. Then we also looked at the growth curve. Okay, that is the lag phase, the exponential phase, and the stationary phase, and examples with respect to that. We also discussed about the different terminologies with respect to growth, like differentiation, redifferentiation, and dedifferentiation. Now we move to the general understanding of plant development. So when we talk about development, what do we mean by development is it's nothing but a progressive or ordered change that take place. Okay, a progressive or an ordered changes in a stepwise manner that takes place with respect to its shape, size, form, degree of complexity. Okay, so like if a human individual from 1 year of a toddler, how he or she develops into a 5 year old, then the 5 year old develops into a teenage, 12 to 15 years of age, then he or she enters the adult stage. So an ordered and progressive changes. We see the increase in size over here, increase in height, increase in body mass. Okay, the features are well formed in the adult stage. So that is what we mean by development. So it includes all the changes occurring in a sequence manner, right from the germination up of the seed till the plant withers, till its senescence or death occurs. Okay, during the life cycle of the plant. So right from the seed is sowed under the ground till the plant, is fully matured. It is there for a certain period of years, and then it dies off. Okay, so this entire period is about development. Okay, so all the changes that takes place from these two phases, from the birth to the death, involves development. Okay, so growth will also come under development. Different structural changes, morphological changes that happens outside, inside, morphogenesis, maturation, and also death, that is senescence. Everything will be considered under this heading of the development. Okay, so this leads to the continuity of what do we understand by plasticity. That is the plant cells having the capability of being molded, formed, or modeled. Okay, they can be molded in whatever form they want. They can be customized, they can be signaled in such a way according to the requirement and structure. So basically, it is the ability of the plant to form different kinds of structures. Okay, depending upon the requirement and what form does the plant takes to form into a tree. The morphological changes that will happen in a plant. So this plasticity is the ability of the plant to form different kind of structures to change. Okay. So the ability of the plants to form different kind of structures. Okay, that is to change. Basically, plasticity is to model, to mold. Okay, to change in according to the different environmental requirements. Okay, response to different, the change will not happen like the plant feel likes and it changes. No, It will be in response to the different environmental conditions. It can be external also, it can be internal also. Okay, in various phases of life. So this is what plasticity in plants are all about. The capacity of being able to, you know, change the structures, different kind of structures in response to internal or external environmental conditions. Okay, this can take place throughout the life as okay, or it can take place at particular intervals during the lifetime of the plant. So as you see in the picture over here, you can see the different shapes of the leaf. This is one of the example: juvenile, adult, terrestrial habit, and then when it actually goes into a water habitat. So you see the different shapes and size of the leaf. Yeah, when it is in the very juvenile stage, like young stage, it looks like this. Then in the adult stage, the size is somewhat like this. Then when actually it is in the uh, on land, the shape and size of the terrestrial habitat of this leaf is like this, and when it is in water, the shape and the structure of the leaf is completely different. So this is known as heterophily. Okay, heterophily. It's the phenomena of appearance of different forms of leaves on the same plant. Different forms of leaf on the same plant. So not necessary that all the leaves on that particular plant will be in adult form only. Some might be in juvenile form, some will be in the adult form, some will be in the matured form. Okay, so that is what is meant by plasticity. One example that we discuss now is heterophily. That is the phenomena, the process in which different forms of leaves can appear on the same plant. Okay, so some region are actively young growing region, so they will show this kind of leaf. Some will show adult kind, some will show this matured type of leaf. So this comes because of the property of the plant cell, that is they are able to change their structures to exist in different kind of structure because of this plasticity property. Now we move to the next part of this, that is intrinsic plasticity can be seen in plants also, like cotton, coriander. So need not necessary that this is something that is visible with respect to what we see, okay, like the different shapes and size of the leaf. But there can be certain internal characteristics also of the plant, yes, which we refer to as intrinsic plasticity. Okay, depending upon the environmental changes or external internal stimulus that the plant receives during its life cycle, so the plant can adapt accordingly. Okay, the plant can modify itself to adapt to the existing environment. So that is what we mean by intrinsic plasticity. Example is given as a cotton and coriander, etc. Okay, now we move to the next part of the video of the chapter. Now we begin with the plant hormone. So the first part of your chapter was discussing about what is growth, different phases of growth. We saw the different phases of growth. That is the formative, elongative phase, formative phase, and the maturation phase. Then growth can be of two types: arithmetic or geometric. Okay, we discussed all this in detail. Then we discussed the growth rate concept with respect to AGR and RGR, that is absolute growth ratio and relative growth ratio. Okay, that also we discussed. Then we saw the growth curve, the different parts of the growth curve. What is the lag phase, log phase, and the stationary phase. Okay. Then we went on discussing the different terminologies with respect to plant growth, that is differentiation, dedifferentiation, and redifferentiation. And now, up till now, we have studied till plasticity. Now we move to another angle or another aspect of the chapter, which is discussing about plant hormones specifically. Okay, now just like we animals have hormones, even plants have hormones. Yes, so even their growth and development will depend upon the hormones which are released by the plant. So they are again made by the plant. They are organic substances, okay, produced naturally in higher plants. Obviously there can be synthetic versions also, but here we are talking in the natural sense. So the plant hormones are organic in nature. They are produced by the plant themselves. And what is the function of the hormones? We are pretty much aware of the hormones function, that they will have an effect on your growth. On here we are talking about with respect to plant, other not only growth but other physiological functions, like what time the flower will come, fruit, the ripening of the fruit, the flower turning into a fruit, germination, all these things. Okay, so other physiological functions will also be affected with the plant hormones. Hormones will be synthesized in one spot and it can be transported to different parts of the plant at a site remote from its place of production, and they are active in very minute amounts. So this is one of the important property of hormones, even in animals also, that they can be functional in very small amounts. So you don't require large quantity of hormones to be effective. Small quantity is enough for the activity of the activity to be carried out. So hormones are transported through phloem parenchyma. So like in animals, usually the vascular system, the blood transports the hormone. Okay, if it is an endocrine system, here the phloem parenchyma is the actual type of tissues which will transport the hormone to different parts of the plant wherever required. Okay, so this is a general understanding regarding plant hormones. Now we move to the first type of plant hormone, which is auxins. Okay, so hormones can be naturally produced by the plant, and also they are synthetically made at industry level, at factory level. Yes, let's say if a plant is not able to produce a required amount of this hormone, so synthetic applications can be given to that particular plant for agricultural purposes, for good variety, good yield of plants. Fine. So in auxins again, so we will study. So you have two types: the organic and the synthetic one. So naturally occurring hormone of auxin, it has its name as indole 3 acetic acid (IAA), and the synthetic version that is made, it is indole butyric acid, naphthalene acetic acid, 2,4-D 2,4-D pichlorophenoxyacetic acid. So three. Okay, three examples under synthetic version and one example of auxins which are naturally made by plant. Okay, you can see the structures over here. You need not memorize the structure. You have to memorize the name though. Okay. Now, what are these? The main important point under auxins. Where are they produced? They are produced by the growing apex, the shoot apex and the root apex. Okay, that is at the meristems. And from there, they will migrate to the region wherever they are required. Okay, so production will happen at the meristematic, at the apex, shoot apex, and the stem root apex. Yes, and from there, they will migrate wherever auxins are required for growth. Fine. So these two examples that we should be knowing. Moving to the functions of the auxins. So very first function is in growth. That is cell elongation of the stem and root. Yes. Auxins are also required in the apical dominance. So if you apply indole acetic acid in a bud, apical means the top. So if this is the plant, this is the stem, and let's say this is the other parts of the plant, this is the root system below the ground surface. Yeah, so this apical dominance, so if a bud is located over here at the top part, okay, so and you have, let's say, a top bud at the tip over here, and then you have small some buds which are at these branches. Let's say this is the branches, and these are some buds, and one bud is at the top which is growing further. Okay, so if you apply indole acetic acid to only to the apical bud, what will happen? This will suppress the growth of the lateral ones. So the lateral buds which are growing sideways, that will not grow. So you will find the tree to grow taller in this direction. Okay, so it will not expand with respect to breadth. So with respect to the breadth or the diameter of the whole plant of the whole tree, let's say for example, will not take place. Only the plant will grow in the topmost direction. So that is what we mean by apical dominant. That this top terminal point will grow more when you apply indole acetic acid in the apical part. So apical dominance can be induced by application of auxins. Then it also induces parthenocarpy. That is, you want to develop fruit from the flower without fertilization. Okay, example in tomatoes. Mostly parthenocarpy are seedless fruits. You want to develop fruits without the flowers undergoing fertilization, that is fusion of gametes, etc. That you do not want to directly want the fruit from the flower. So that can be induced, that can happen. You can start the process with application of auxins. Okay. Also, auxins will help in premature fall of leaves, flowers, fruits. So before they are actually aged, the leaves, flowers, fruit, they will not fall off. So premature aging will be prevented from with the help of auxins. They are useful in stem cutting and grafting, where it initiates rooting. In the first chapter, when we are talking about sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction in plants, we discuss what are cuttings and graftings. Yes. So in this processes, the auxin can be applied to initiate the combination, to it will help the cambium of both the two different parts, the stalk and the scion, to come together and grow as one plant. So there also auxins are very, very useful. Okay, it promotes flowering also, for example in pineapple. Then the synthetic version, which is 2,4-D, is widely used as herbicide. Okay, herbicide to kill undesirable weeds. What is herbicide? That is, herbicide means you want to kill, you do not want growth of any other plants in an agricultural setup. So in a field, you are growing wheat crops, for example, and you do not want other crops, like in Hindi you say jungly plants type, jungly पौधे पेड़ पौधे. So so that you do not want. So you do not want undesirable weeds to grow in your field, okay, where you are growing wheat on a larger scale. So you can use auxins, you can spray auxins, which will kill the unwanted plants, undesirable weeds. Because if these weeds grow in the field, there will be a competition between the wheat and the weeds for the nutrition that you have, that's there in the soil. Then they will compete for fertilizer, the nutrition, minerals from the soil. So undesirable weeds of dicot plants without affecting monocot plants. So if you are growing a monocot plant in the field, the undesirable weeds, if they are of the dicot type, you can easily spray auxin and you can get rid of that. Okay, there will be no harm or effect on the plants that are growing in the field. It also helps in division process and xylem differentiation of the plant. Okay, so this is a pictorial representation. That is, auxins are made at the tip of the shoot apex, and let's say this is the shoot apex, and they are made so they will grow in direction to the sunlight, and they will move wherever their action is required. Okay. So, for example, you take a shoot apex and you cut the tip off. Okay. If you add auxin, they will add auxin at the top. They will start growing and produce more. They will show responsiveness to the in the direction of the light. Okay. Similarly, that is you want to, what is happening in this, you are trying to attain apical dominance. You are trying to attain what? Apical dominance that we just saw. Okay. If you take a root tip and you do not do anything to it, it will remain as it is. Okay. If you put the tip back, again, not much difference you will see. But if you add auxin to the tip of the growing region, you will see the growth will take place towards the direction of the light. So this is trying to explain you apical dominance. Similarly, if you take the base of any plant and you try and you add auxin, so basically auxin can also be used for general growth, general elongation of the cell. So as you see over here, you have applied auxin to the base. So rooting will start. So wherever you will apply auxin, here at the tip you applied auxin, the shoot tip started growing in the direction of light. Here you applied auxin to the base and it started the rooting process. Now the root system is developing. Okay. So you apply to the tip, it will initiate the shooting process. You apply to the base, it will initiate the rooting process. Similarly, in this example, if you see for the general growth and increase in elongation of the cells and increase in cell division, so you take a fruit over here and you don't do anything in one version, and in another example, you add auxin, you apply auxin hormone, so it will grow naturally. Okay, so this is how the auxins work in function. So this is a summary of auxin. There are two types: natural indole acetic acid, indole butyric acid, and synthetic is 2,4-D naphthalene acetic acid. Uses are, it can help in rooting process, in flowering process, in parthenocarpy, that is producing fruits without fertilization. It will help in killing unwanted plants, unwanted weeds. Okay, so herbicide. Herbicide means killing herbs, not herbs actually, but actually plants. Okay, function can be you can the auxin functions as apical dominance, premature falling of the leaves, fruits, or other organs. So that is prevented, which is also known as abscission, xylem differentiation, cell division. These are some of the key function that is represented in this summary chart. Okay, and where you will find auxin? You will find auxin at the root apex and the shoot apex. Okay, and synthetically, if you want a plant, if you want only the root to grow, so you can apply synthetic version of the auxin and cause the root to grow. And if you want only the shoot of that plant to grow, you can apply the synthetic version of the auxin and just focus on the shoot growth of that particular plant. So that's all for this video. Thank you. Take care. In the next video, we will be talking the another two hormones, that is gibberellins and cytokinins. Okay. So thank you. Take care. Keep revising. See you in the next video. Bye bye.